This presentation describes a lesson for adult learners on how to search Google Scholar. The lesson was presented twice, once with an instructor in a face-to-face classroom and once through a self-paced online tutorial. While both lessons make use of the same web-based tool, I was curious to see if there was a difference in how well each group understood the lesson, given the differences in how the content was delivered. Before we talk about the lesson, let's take a look at the audience. As you may know, adult learners are known to be self-directed and goal-oriented. They're in the classroom because they want to be. They come from a variety of backgrounds and draw on their educational, employment, and life experiences as they learn. Now let me introduce you to my adult learners. Having no classroom of my own, I recruited my colleagues in higher education to be my students. Several of my coworkers are currently pursuing academic degrees, from bachelor's to PhDs. I had 4 participants in each of the 2 sessions and found that each group had varying technology and research skills before the lesson. The purpose of this lesson was to enable adult learners to use Google Scholar to locate full-text scholarly resources. Students would learn to identify a research need, conduct a search, evaluate their results, and then use Google Scholar to connect to full-text articles. I based the lesson on the information literacy standards outlined in the Association of College and Research Libraries Information Competency Standards for Higher Education. As you can see on these lists, I included the same elements in each session, although print materials had to be adapted for online delivery, and the online group submitted search results as a replacement for in-class discussion. Both groups took a pre-test to assess their knowledge before the lesson and a post-test to determine how well they had learned. Since the lesson itself required basic computer and internet skills, there was no difference in the level of technical skill required for each group. I also used the same instructional strategies for each lesson. I selected these strategies not only because they were a good fit for the content, but also because they were a good fit for teaching adult learners. Setting objectives would appeal to goal-oriented learners. Cues and questions prompt students to build on their existing knowledge. Practice allows adult learners to instantly apply new skills to their own situations. And everybody loves a reward. The classroom instruction included a PowerPoint presentation and live demonstration. The same content was recorded and posted to the web for the online tutorial students. Each group was given a set of practice exercises and some additional useful information. The classroom students received print copies and the online students were able to download theirs from the web. This menu allowed the online students to progress through the lesson in the same order that the instructor led the face-to-face students. But because the online tutorial was self-paced, students could complete each activity on their own schedule. While the classroom students completed the pre-test and post-test forms in print, the online students submitted their responses via SurveyMonkey. Here you see the start screen for students viewing the recorded presentation. When the lesson was over, classroom students received an apple and a certificate of completion. Online students could download their certificate, and they were rewarded with a virtual gold star. In planning these lessons, I took the following steps. I found it a little difficult to keep track of all of the elements, especially since I had to do everything twice, once in each format. But it seems to have all worked out in the end. As I mentioned previously, I tried to keep the lessons as similar as possible given the different methods of delivery. Since I used the same PowerPoint for each session, I could be sure that the students in each group were exposed to the same information. The pre-test and post-test were designed to evaluate students' understanding of Google Scholar before and after the lesson. I was also interested in their ability to evaluate the information they found and in their perceptions related to the use of Google Scholar in various aspects of their lives.